Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Let me turn off commenting on this. Bingo, commenting is turned off. All right, wonderful. But we are all set. All right, how's everybody doing? Rabu Gary here. Want to jump in real quick and go over a full comprehensive training of the DAISY project. A couple of things I want to mention. Today is January the 14th. In the morning, 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time if you live in Toronto, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if you live in Vancouver, and 8 a.m. UTC time if you live across the pond in the Europe area, Asia area, most of Asia area. There will be a full webinar to update everybody on DAISY. And so if you're watching this and it's February, I made this video back in January. But the point of this video is to fully explain how the DAISY trading side works, okay, and the DAISY referral plan works, so people can get a full understanding of it. Because if you have, and this is important, some of you aren't going to get it in one shot, but I recommend you do what I do. Okay, this helps me focus, and I've learned to master some things this way. I'll watch something all the way through. I will not take notes if it's recorded. I'll watch it all the way through, pretty much in a vacuum environment. No kids, no spouse, no kids, no animals. I'm not eating, I'm not drinking, none of the above, nothing. Especially if it's important and it means it's going to make me some money. So I'm going to watch it all the way through with supreme focus first. Then I'm going to watch it and take notes. And that second time when I watch it, I'm stopping recording, making sure I get a good full understanding so I could teach it. Because once I can teach it, I understand it inside out. And so I'm not going to rush through this. I'm going to take my time. Obviously, it's recorded. It'll be here on our Facebook page. It'll be in what I made as a video library. So you're always going to see a pinned post. When you jump on our Facebook page, you're always going to see a post that's pinned to the top. In that pinned post, in the comments, I'm going to put training videos that are apropos to whatever we're doing at the time. And right now, United Investment Group International, we're helping to launch DAISY as one of our new phases. And so right now, we have more information in those. I've called it video library, because it's one thing for you to go into announcements and have to go through a whole bunch of videos that are outdated. But when you go to this video library that I'm putting together, you'll be able to do the necessary trainings that you need in order to get where you need to be. And so I'm going to block out my screen. I'm going to pull up the presentation. I'm going to walk through the presentation step by step. This same presentation can be found under files on our Facebook page. So under files, you click on files, whether you're on your phone or whether you're on your computer, click files. It's right there. And I'm going to go over it with great details, because I understand this thing inside out, and I'll make it clear so there's no misunderstanding. And there are going to be instances where I'm going to have you read so you can get the concept for yourself. Opposed to you listening to me, you'll need to read it on your own so you can get the concept for yourself. I'm going to have some fun when I do this presentation. The reason why is because there's a wealth of information for me to share with you. But more importantly, people are already making money with DAISY, and a lot of it. And I mean a lot of it. And I can say this, we had over 70 people make 100 grand their first 24 hours. Over 70 people make 100 grand their first 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours in DAISY. Now, let me make this very clear. These people have large networks, okay? And all of them, okay, came in at tier 10. So they could maximize the entire client plan, the referral plan. All of them came in at tier 10. And they all have massive networks, okay? That may not be you right now, maybe coming soon. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. I'll say this as I go through the presentation. So let me go ahead and pull up this presentation. I'll open it first. Good, it's open. Let me share my screen. Let me mute my video because you guys aren't going to need to see me. Here's our PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to walk through this. Get this out the middle of my screen here. Oops. Okay. So first things first, legal disclaimer. Take your time to read over the legal disclaimer. I'll give you guys about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. DAISY. What is DAISY? DAISY is a decentralized AI system. Okay. I like to add that it's a decentralized AI system on the blockchain, and it's an app. So you guys know it's not a website, it's not a company, it's an app on the blockchain. Now, which button should I be pushing? Okay, this thing's going to make me do this. Okay, so what is DAISY? An equity crowdfunding model for financial technologies, a decentralized smart contract, not a company. This is very important, guys, that you get this. There's no corporate office. There's no support team. There's no support team. There's no support team. I want to make that very, very clear. There's no owners. There's no inventory. There's no sales department. There's no marketing department. There's no HR department. It's an app on the blockchain. So I need to make that very, very clear. Okay. A model where everyone can win with profits, equity, and income. Currently crowdfunding Endotech for the DAISY AI project. Contributors receive exclusive stock, equity, and profit rewards, and we'll talk about that also. That's a major benefit for being part of DAISY. Now, what is DAISY AI? Decentralized AI system being developed by Endotech. DAISY AI is a decentralized AI system. For those who don't understand what AI is, it's artificial intelligence that's currently being developed by Endotech. DAISY AI is the next generation of AI trading, artificial intelligence. DAISY AI will significantly multiply the current AI performance. DAISY AI is the first project capitalized by DAISY Crowdfund, and that's who we are. We're DAISY Crowdfund, and we are funding DAISY AI. DAISY AI receives $10 million for development from the referral plan that we have an opportunity to participate in. The target for the target for the live DAISY AI trading account is 50 million in DAISY funds. So that's important. An account of 500 million. So our goal is to raise with crowdfunding $500 million. All right. And many of you will help aid that by making money for yourselves so we could help build out the DAISY AI system. DAISY AI is Endotech's path to becoming a public traded company. And that's very important. Now, who is Endotech? The first technology partner of DAISY Crowdfund. We're not going to say that they'll be the last, but they are the first. Global fintech companies specialize in AI trading systems. So they work in the fintech space, which is the financial space, and they specialize in AI trading systems. Okay. Many other companies around the world uses Endotech. We happen to have a partnership with Endotech with DAISY, but we're not the only partner that they have. When it comes to a smart contract, we are the only partner that they have. Roadmap to complete DAISY AI to help them become publicly traded is 2022. Currently providing AI trading system for top financial institutions. I did mention that. Proven track record of high performance results. And for what it's worth, if you're watching this right now, I'll say this again later on. In November 2020, for those who invested money into Endotech, you received a 361% return on your money. In November 2020, for those who invested money into Endotech and their strategies, Endotech turned a 361% return on your money. In January 2021, if you invested any money in Endotech, they made a return of 500+% on your money. Just very important that you understand that. Now, funded by Anna Becker and operated by top AI scientists. That's who Endotech is. So this is Dr. Anna. I'm going to pull up her information. I'll give you 30 seconds. to read over her information and digest it for yourself. Okay, let's move on. Here's also some of her credentials. Dr. Anna was appointed to be on the board of the Dispute Resolution Committee. You're going to hear people out there, and I want to mention this, you're going to hear people out there with different sites. They're just jealous, literally jealous, or they're too scared to play in our lane. They'll say, oh, Endotech's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Well, the International Business Times did a great write-up on DAISY and Endotech, okay? Major financial institutions use Endotech, all right? And Dr. Anna sits on the board of the Dispute Resolution Committee. This is very important. It's an international board. She's been on the board since 2017. And as you can see here, that board helps govern things in China, New York, all around the world. So she's as credible as the day is long. That's very, very important, because you'll hear other people who are jealous, who are just fearful to play in the lane that you're playing in. And they'll say all type of stuff about Endotech or about Dr. Anna. And the bottom line is they're just scared or fearful or jealous. So I'm going to make that very clear. Be mindful of the things that you hear from them. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not someone who gets brainwashed. Okay. I do my research. When you do your research on Endotech, when you do your research on Dr. Anna, when you see the reports that they put up, like this month, they put the report up for December. You know, people made 500% on their money. That's huge. That's public information. All right. And so they're clean as the day is long. Now, here's some results from one of their top strategies, which is called their Alpha strategy. And this one dates back to January 2018. Now, if you did not go through DAISY and you want to go directly through Endotech and invest your money, you can. However, you have to be an accredited investor. You have to have a minimum of $1 million in capital, $1 million. You have to pay an entry fee of $125,000 per year and an exit fee of 20%. Now, that's not bad, because in that year, the annual return was 814% on your money. So if you invested $1 million with Endotech back then, you would have made 814% on your money. That's $800 million, $8 million, I'm sorry. That's huge. That's huge. Okay? And so as we move along. Now, this is more recent. This is another one of their strategies, one of their top leverage strategies, one that they're using for DAISY. And they'll use multiple strategies for DAISY. Now, back in September 2020, if you would have invested, well, this person invested $29,000 in Endotech. Between November 2020 and, between September 2020 and November 2020, this is short 70 days, the return on their investment was 297%. That's almost 300%. Now, if that person elected to not take their money out and let their money compound, the annual return based on this strategy is 1,500% a year. That's huge. Why am I going to say that's big? Some of you are familiar with things like the stock market. I don't know. I've never made 1,500% in the market. Maybe you have. I haven't come close to it. Some of you are familiar with little smaller programs like Robinhood or Stash or Acorns. Maybe you're the type of person, you're part of a hedge fund and you have some money invested there. Maybe you're getting 20%, maybe 40 or 50%. But with every hedge fund out there, you have to be an accredited investor. Maybe you flip money in real estate and you're very, very, very good at it, where you can make a 50%, I don't know, to 75%, maybe 100% return on your money because you're very, very, very good at it, or you get very lucky. But you explain to me where you can go somewhere where they're using artificial intelligence and make a 300% return on your money. That's huge. Now, why is that important? And I'll go into this later on. But if you're watching this right now for the first time because you've been invited to our page, you have an opportunity. Now, we cannot, as it says here, past performance does not indicate future performance. But if you go to their site and see what their performance was in November and December, I don't know about you, but if someone can make a return for people 361% in November, and then in December, they make a return of 500%, I'll take my chances that I'll at least make 50%. I'm not a gambling person. And I know past performance does not dictate future performance. But if this company, in writing, factual, made people 361% on their money in November, and in December, they made people 500% on their money in December, I'm willing to take my chances and invest with that company. Even if I made 10% of my money, I'd be happy. And that's huge. So as we move along, this is what the D.AI.SY app looks like. Okay. Again, D.AI.SY is an app on your phone. These are just examples, but this is what the app looks like on your phone. Actually is getting a facelift, believe it or not. So maybe by the time you're watching this, the app looks different, but this is pretty much what the app looks like on your phone. It shows some levels that tiers that people decided to purchase, crowdfund, some rewards that you made, and the trading that took place. This is just an example. Now let's talk about the roadmap. Let's give you some of Indotech's history, as you can see here, and we'll talk about the future. 2012, that's when they registered their business, Indotech. 2017, AI crypto trading developed and implemented. They started doing AI crypto trading in 2017. Commercial use of AI crypto trading in 2018 for financial institutions. In 2020, Indotech evaluated at $100 million, which is a bit, November 2020, which is huge. 2021, crowdfunding, 10 million in D.AI.SY AI. That's when we came into play. Phase 1 development of D.AI.SY AI. And our goal is to raise $500 million in funds for the D.AI.SY AI fund. And we launched, January 2021, when we launched this project together with D.AI.SY and Indotech. 2022, complete D.AI.SY AI, Indotech, they'll go public. That'll be huge. And also in 2022, they'll start with Forex trading, okay, to have another $1 billion in working capital. So that's what our roadmap looks like. From 2012, you can see where we are now. You can see what the future looks like. 2003, adding stock trading to AI in D.AI.SY also. With stock trading in the United States, can't do stock trading with artificial intelligence in the United States. Indotech is based out of Israel. And as you can see at the bottom of each of these slides, and stated earlier, I didn't state it, but I'll state it now. You cannot do business with D.AI.SY if you live in the United States, Iran, or Korea. So I just want to make that very, very clear. And I know that most of the people watching this in our Facebook group are international. Now, let's talk about rewards for contributors. Number one, up to 10 crowdfunding tiers to choose from, starting at $100. So I want to make this very clear. There's no startup cost to participate in D.AI.SY. You do not have to pay to play. There's no startup cost. There's no monthly cost to participate in D.AI.SY. None. Okay? And you do not have to recruit anyone to make money with the D.AI.SY project. Let me repeat. There's no startup cost. Typically with some companies, you have to pay a startup fee, not an investment fee, but a startup fee in order to pay to play. If you're in the networking industry, you know what I'm talking about. There's no monthly cost here. There's no auto ship. There's no service fees at all. And then lastly, you do not have to use the referral plan and recruit anybody to make any money in the D.AI.SY Indotech project. Now, every contributor gets their own equal share of 5% of Indotech stock. That's important. 50% to 70% of each contribution is used for trading, is used in trading for development. You'll see more details on that. 70% of trading profits are rewarded back to the contributor, which is you and I. 15% of trading profits are rewarded to the residual referral plan. We'll talk about that. Contributors can withdraw their trading rewards at any time. So, and I'll say this here, if you decide to purchase a tier in Daisy, whatever tier you purchase will stay in the crowd fund until the numbers met, the $500 million. However, any money that you make in profit off of your money being traded for you, you can take that money out at any time. All members are able to participate in the Daisy referral plan. And lastly, the referral plan pays out 46% of each contribution. Smart contract distribution of funds. So let's talk a little bit about how this works. First of all, in order to participate in Daisy, you have to have a Tron wallet. We recommend that you get Tron Link. It talks better to Daisy than the other Tron wallets out there. Tron Link. If you have an iPhone, you want Tron Link. If you have an Android, you go to Google Play Store and you'll download Tron Link Pro. So once you start off with your Tron account, your Tron Link account, you have to fund that account. So you'll have to find a way, whether you're buying it from an individual like myself, or whether you're buying it from an exchange where they charge 6 to 7%, you have to find a way to buy you some Tron so you can fund your Tron Link account. From the Tron Link account, you'll move those funds over and purchase your tiers in Daisy, tier 1 through 10. 50 to 70%, depending on the tier that you purchase, will go into the Daisy fund. Up to 46% will go into the referral plan, into the Daisy crowd. The money that goes into the fund, Endotech trades it for you, and you receive 85% of the rewards. So the money that goes into the fund, Endotech does the trading for you, and you'll receive 85% of the rewards. And again, I'll mention this a couple of times. In November 2020, Endotech traded for their clients 361%. In December 2020, okay, we just got the results here in January, but December 2020, I might have said that wrong earlier on, but December 2020, we just got the results in January. Endotech traded for their clients 500%. Now, 85% of those monies that you will be making will go back into your Tron wallet when you trigger for that to happen. Anything that happens in the Daisy crowd with our referral plan goes automatically into your Tron wallet. It does not stay in Daisy. It goes automatically, instantly into your Tron wallet. Now let's talk about the Tron blockchain. The Tron blockchain allows automatic, well, actually, this is what I'll do. So you get a great understanding. I'll give you 30 seconds, read over it. Okay, let's move along. I hope you got a good, I didn't want to explain it. I want you to read it for your own understanding. Come back and read it again. Maybe you Google Tron blockchain, find out about the owner of the Tron blockchain, do your research, but they're solid. Now let's talk about passive income. These benefits do not refer to everyone. I'm sorry. This refers to everyone. I meant to say this refers to everyone, even if you don't refer anyone. This refers to everyone, even if you don't refer anyone. So, number one, when you buy a tier, whether it's tier 1 or tier 10, potential return for selling Endotech stock or receiving dividends in the future. So you get to own equity. Now we have to use the word potential, but again, Endotech in November traded at 361%, and in December, 500%. But again, we do have to say potential. Trading rewards, potential rewards for successful trading performance in Endotech's IA system. Again, we have to say potential, but again, you can go do the research of what they've done recently. And then lastly, potential matrix spillover, generating a maximum of 48% return on crowdfunding contribution from spillover and the referral plan, even with no referrals. And we're going to talk about spillover. Now, this is what it looks like. If you're that person, you do not want to refer anyone. Okay, all you want to do is buy your tiers so Endotech can trade for you and you can make whatever percentage they make for you that month. Okay, and again, I don't know about you, but if I see that a company's making someone 361% or group 361% one month, then they turn around and make a group 500% the next month, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to buy some tiers. I will. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. And as I always state for people, invest what you can afford to lose if you're going to invest anyway. Even though there's no investment here, if you were to invest in anything in the world, invest what you can afford to lose. But I'm going to personally take my chances, okay, and buy some tiers if for 2 months consecutively, they made people over 300% on their money. No question. But what also happens, you fall into the matrix, okay? And what that means, whether you refer anyone or not, potentially you'll have people spill over into your matrix. So in the first level, let's say if 3 members spill into your matrix, okay, and I'll explain this in much detail when we get to the matrix, you have an opportunity to make, well over $7,000 if you add tier 1 through 7 and add tier 8 through 10, okay? Tier 2, if 9 people spill into your matrix, you have an opportunity to make $20,000 depending on the pack you purchase, okay? And that's very, very important. And I'll explain it as we get deeper into the matrix. So let's talk about the tiers. These are the tiers. Now, they're tiers 1 through 10. You cannot jump the line. So you have to purchase a tier at a time, which doesn't take much time at all. But let's say you start at tier 100. Then you would go on to purchase tier 200. I'm sorry, tier 2. You start at tier 1, which is $100. Then you're going to purchase tier 2, which is $200. Then you would go on to purchase tier 3, which is $400. Collectively, you purchase $700. Okay, that was your total fund. Let's say you purchase tier 4, which is $800. Again, collectively now $1,500. What we found in our pre-launch days of Daisy, the people who really, really capitalized, who really made some good money for themselves, they purchase anywhere between $6,300 or above. Those are the packages that they purchase, $6,300 or above. Okay. Again, get in where you fit in. Don't spend any money that you can't afford to lose. But what's going to happen with your purchase? Let's use the 7th tier, which is a very, very good tier, very powerful tier. Let's say you purchase up to tier 7. That's $12,700 of purchase. $6,300 is going to trade for you. The other 63 will go into the Daisy crowd, and you'll get 127 shares in equity. Now, what's very, very important, even though you purchase up to tier 7 and you made a purchase of $12,700, 63 will trade for you. But at the end of the day, when your trading's over, you'll get a percentage based on your initial purchase. So I want to make that very clear. If I purchase up to tier 7, which is $12,700, even though $6,300 is trading for me, when I get my percentage of my money, I'll get my percentage, whether it's 300% or whether it's 500%, whatever that percent is, I'm going to get it on my initial purchase, not on the split, because some people confuse that. Now, when you buy tiers 8 through 10, 70% trades for you and 30% goes into the Daisy crowd, as you can see here. Numbers are a little bit different. These numbers are even 1 through 7, but 8 through 10, they're not even. That's 70%, where another 10% goes into the Daisy crowd. Let's move on. Let's talk about the referral plan, okay? Because everything I just went over had nothing to do with referring people. And you know, we could back up for a second. This is very important. So let's just say again, we can use small numbers, $100. Based on what Endotech did the month of December, you would have made 500% on your $100. That's huge. your $100 would have turned into $500 if they still performed the same way they performed in December. I hope you guys understand that. This is huge. Set aside the referral plan. We didn't even talk about the referral plan yet. But where can you go? Purchase a $100 tier. 30 days later, your $100 is turned into $500 for you. Where can you go do that? Let me know, because I'll do it with you. But that's what happened in the month of December. Now, again, past performance does not dictate future performance, but I will take my chances with that. As we move on, let's talk about the referral plan. Now, upfront income. We have personal referral bonuses. I'm going to go over that in detail. 3x10 force matrix bonus. I'm going to go over that. Matrix check match. Paysetter gold bonus, which is huge. Paysetter leadership bonus, which is even bigger. Okay. Residual income. 10 generations of unilevel trading bonuses. I'll go over that. You also receive the Paysetter bonuses, both of them on the back end as well. And again, you get stock equity in the company. That will be very, very well. We can't make assumptions or predictions, but if I want to take my chances, that stock equity is going to be pretty powerful when the AI trading is developed. The new AI trading is developed with Daisy, because their AI trading right now is being used in the fintech space by multiple corporations. Well, they can multiply their performance times 4, times 5, times 5 times. The stock is going to be worth something, in my opinion. So let's move along. So let's talk about your personal referral bonuses. You do not have to refer anyone, but if you do, you'll make 5% of whatever tier that they purchase. So there are a lot of people who got involved with our Daisy pre-launch, and they referred a lot of people. And those people that they referred purchased big packages, big tiers. They purchased 7 tier and up, and they made 5%. I personally referred a ton of people, who purchased tier 10. That was their prerogative. They are accredited investors, but they don't have to be accredited investors here, but they purchased tier 10. Well, when they purchased tier 10, I made 5%, on their purchases. So when they purchased up to $100,000 in tiers, I made $5,000 on each person. There are quite a few people who were part of our group during our pre-launch who did the same thing. So if you didn't refer people and you sat back and said, okay, I'm not going to refer anybody, that's fine. You don't have to, because you'll still make your money where EndoCheck is trading for you. But if you want to maximize, you refer people. Because I'll say this right now, and this is not an insult to anybody. If you cannot show someone's EndoTech's performance, their past performance from November 2020 and December 2020, where people made 361% in November and 500% in December on their money. If you're talking to someone and you can't show them that, or if you show them that and they're not interested, then it is what it is. Are you with me? But I don't know who wouldn't be. So maybe some folks are talking to the wrong people, because you can't have that conversation with me. I'm going to jump all over it. So some of you are probably talking to the wrong people. So as we move along, this is how the 5% bonus works. You get 5%. There's no qualifications here. You don't have to qualify for it. You don't have to jump through any hoops. You refer someone and you instantly get paid, instantly into your TronLink account, instantly. So if you refer me today and I buy a package up to tier 10, instantly, you'll get paid over $5,000 directly into your TronLink account, instantly. So let's move on. Let's talk about a force matrix and spillover. Now, some of you don't mind talking to people. And we have quite a bit of networkers out there who don't mind talking to people, because this is what you do. You love it. You've been doing it for years. The difference is you've been doing it. You've been selling products. People had to pay monthly services. You had to recruit people to make money. That's not the case here. So it's much an easier offering to talk to someone about how they can purchase some tiers, have a company like Endotech that's proven to make them a return on their purchase. Much easier conversation. And there are quite a few people like myself who did a lot of that. And what happened, let's explain spillover. There are a couple of ways that spillover works. Case one, you create your own spillover. And that's what I did. And that's what many of us did. We created our own spillover. What does that mean? I went out there and referred 1, 2, 3 people here. And I referred, and the other people, I referred 4, 5, 6. I referred a whole bunch of people. And these 1, 2, and 3 right here, you know, some of my folks fell into their matrix. Another scenario, I went out and referred these 1, 2, 3, and these 1, 2, 3 referred their own 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I went out and referred some people because I had a conversation with them. I sent them a promo page. I sent them a link where they can see how their money can make money for them. You know, they watched a presentation like this and they say, hey, I'm in. I shared it with a lot of people. So I created my own spillover, as well as I created spillover for some other people. Here's another scenario how spillover works. This is me. I refer some folks. Okay. This is you. Well, I brought you on board. I refer a couple of people. They spilled under to you. You refer one person. It spilled underneath that person. These people got their own folks. So the white people with the white little figures here, they got their own folks. But I referred enough people with some of them spilled over here. You referred some people with some of them spilled over there. This happens. And again, it might not happen because you may have been referred by someone who didn't want to refer anybody. Thus, you might not get any spillover anytime soon. Eventually, you will. I want to make that very, very clear. If I refer you, you got spillover, okay? Or you will eventually get spillover. But you may have been referred by a friend of yours who just joined Daisy so they can make money on their money. They don't care about the referral plan. Thus, chances are your spillover is going to be slim to none. That's the way spillover works in a force matrix. I want to make that very clear. So if you're a builder, builders, they don't worry about spillover. They don't care about it. They create their own spillover by sharing the story. If this story meant that people had to pay a startup cost, if this story meant that people had to sell products or services, if this story meant that people had to pay a monthly auto ship or a monthly service fee, if this story meant that people had to recruit to make money, then I could understand most of you not referring anybody because most people can't in those instances. But this story is a little bit different. Your conversation is a little bit different. Your conversation is about a platform that's connected to a company like Endotech, where people in the past couple of months, you can't say what's going to happen in the future, but you can say what happened in the past couple of months, where people are making 300 to 500% on their money. If you can't share that story, then Daisy's not for you. And I know there are probably some folks that are watching this and you have some of their team members watching this. And well, Robert, why'd you say that? Because that's the truth. Okay. Or the referral plan is not for you. Better yet, let me rephrase that. The referral plan is not for you. You're better off buying your tiers, sit back and wait and make your money as Endotech does their job. So if you're not going to go out there and spread the news, you're better off buying your tiers. Let Endotech do their job and you sit back and make your money. The referral plan may not be for you. Just want to make that real clear. Let's move on. So there are 10 matrices. I know it says it's one matrix, but there are 10 levels in the matrix. And in order to open a level, you have to purchase a tier. If you don't purchase a tier, that level's not open. So for an example, quite a few people purchased tier 7. When I look back through our contract and through the blockchain, through our smart contract, quite a few people purchased tier 7. What did that do? That enabled them to get paid on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, and tier 7. So whether they brought people in or whether some of these people spilled over, they potentially got paid on a lot of folks. Why? Because they opened up more of the matrices. There's some people who only purchase maybe tier 3. Look at this. All you're going to get paid on is 27 folks anyway. I don't care how many people falls into your matrix. Hope you guys understand that. You get paid on 27 people in each open matrix. So on matrix 1, if 27 people fell into matrix 1, you'll get paid on those. If you open up matrix 2, 27 people fell into matrix 2, you'll get paid on those. You open up matrix 3, 27 people fell into matrix 3, you'll get paid on those. But it stops there because you only came in with tier 3. Hope you guys understand that. So in order to open up each matrix, you have to purchase one at a time, and it opens up the matrix. Let me read this to you. Each contribution tier that you fund lets you earn when those same tiers are funded within your matrix. Your funding tier determines the tiers you earn from in the matrix. So if you don't fund that tier, you're not going to earn from that tier in the matrix. Higher contribution tiers funded in your matrix will compress up to the next qualified member. I love this because this happened for a lot of people. So let's just say you did fund up to tier 10, but you brought some people in, they funded up to tier 3, but they brought some people in that funded up to tier 10. Well, they only got paid up to tier 3. Tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, 7, 8, 9 rolled right up to you. It compressed up to you because you bought a higher package. And I'll give you guys a strategy towards the end. Now, let's talk about the matrix bonus. As I stated earlier, even if you don't refer anyone, you still get a chance to participate in the matrix, providing you get spillover and providing the pack that you purchase, which is very, very important. So let's say here, generation 1, you came on board, 3 people fell into your matrix. If you purchase tier 1 from those 3 people, you're going to make $12. That's it. Because you're only going to get paid on tier 1. If you purchase tier 1 through 7, and those 3 people purchase tier 1 through 7, you're going to make $1,500. That's why 7 is a popular tier. Find your way to get to 7. You can upgrade your way to 7, but get to 7 or above. If you purchase tier 8 through 10, and these 3 people purchase 8 through 10, you're going to pick up $1,500 plus $5,300. That's about $7,000. Not bad. Well, also, without any qualifications, this doesn't require you doing anything. You potentially get paid on 9 people that fall into your matrix. And again, with the same scenario. If you purchase tier 1, those 9 people purchase tier 1, you'll make $36 plus you'll pick up that 12 from the 3, $48. But if you purchase tier 1 through 7, and those 9 people purchase tier 1 through 7, you're going to pick up $4,500 plus the $1,500 that happened from the other 3. And lastly, if you purchase tier 8 through 10, you'll pick up an additional $16,000. You guys get this? But you can't say, you know what, I'm only going to purchase tier 3 and think that you're going to get paid here. You won't. You'll only get paid on tier 100. And we don't have a, there's not enough space here to show what the commission would be on the tier 2 and tier 3. You guys got it? You only get paid up to the tier that you purchase. Very important. Now let's go deeper into the matrix. This is where it gets fun. Now, let's say you went out and you referred 3 people. That's all you did. Between those 3 people, their total contribution funded has to be $1,000. So roughly $333 a piece, something like that, okay? But however it pans out, one person could do $900, the other person could do $100, long as it adds up to $1,000. Providing that happens, you brought on 3 personal people, not matrix people, 3 personal, and some people haven't brought on 3 personal people, but you brought on 3 personal people. Between the 3 of them, they collectively did $1,000 in contributions. If 27 people fall into your matrix, and those 27 people purchased the $100 tier, you're going to make $81. But if those 27 people that fell into your matrix, if they fell into your matrix, or if you built them, so let me go back. If you built them into the matrix because you went and got your own spillover, you went out and referred a couple, and they added up to 27, whether they spilled over or you went out and did it yourself because you brought on a couple, now that number adds to 27. And if those 27 people buy tier 1 through 7 and you purchased tier 1 through 7, you made 10 grand. Plus you picked up the 45 and the 15. Got it? And if you did pack 1 through 10, you picked up an extra 36,000. And you picked up 16,000 plus 5,500, 5,300. A lot of people did this. A ton of people did this. A ton. And then there are quite a few people who didn't do this because they didn't elect to go out and bring on people on their own. Now, since you guys got that scenario, I'm just going to jump down to my favorite level, level 7. If you purchase down to tier 7, you personally purchase down to tier 7, you also refer 15 people. And I want you to understand something. When you're referring these 15 people, they don't have to be recruiters. They don't have to be top networkers. It can be 15 people who understand that in November of 2020, if they would have invested their money in Endotech, they would have made 361% on their money. In December of 2020, if those same 15 people would have invested in Endotech, they would have made, or through Daisy, they would have made 500% on their money. So if you had that conversation, those 15 people, they say, hey, I'm in. And collectively between the 15, they do 16,000 in tier purchases. If 2,100 people fall into your matrix because you're building and some people spilled over, a combination of both, okay? And if everybody just did tier 100, you make $6,500 plus all the money rolling up, if you can follow my cursor, okay? Now, if those 15 people did tier 1 through 7 and you did tier 1 through 7, you pick up $833,000. That's providing 2,100 people fell into your matrix. Whether it came from spillover or whether it came from you building, it'll always be a combination of both. And if those 2,100 people purchased tier 1 through 7, you picked up $833,000 plus the 277 plus 92 plus blah, 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 all the way up to the top. Now, same thing applies if you purchase up to tier 10. If you purchase up to tier 10 and those 2,100 people purchase up to tier 10, you pick up, if all 2,187 purchase up to tier 10, you pick up 2.9 million plus 979 plus 360, plus 326, 100. You guys get the point, all the way up. But this is contingent on you making that pack purchase also. Now let's go down to 10. Real simple. To max out this comp plan, and many people have done this already, and they're just going to sit back and watch people join, and they're going to make their money. And I'll give you a strategy at the end. If you purchase all the way to tier 10, and you brought in 24 people, you referred 24 people, and between those 24 people, they collectively did $128,000 in tier purchases. That's not hard between 24 people. If you do the math on it, it's only $6,300 per person. But let's say you get one person who did 100 grand. You only need 23 people to divide the 28 grand between them. So you can come up with your cumulative number of 2,800. A lot of people did that. Providing this happens, get this out the way. Get your 24 and between them, they do 128,000. Get that out the way. Because when you get that out the way, and you brought on those 24 and they start to build and they start to build and they start to build because they want to get their 24 for everybody want to get their 24. So if these 24 want to get their 24, want to get their 24, want to get their 24, these member numbers are going to add up pretty quick. And when I mean quick, I mean maybe within a year. If that happens, or you're getting spillover also, combination of both. If this ends up being 59,000 people here, that's 236,000 if they only did tier 1. Even though you did tier 10, all these folks only did tier 1. But if they all did tier 7, that's $29 million. Plus 9, plus 2.4, you get it all the way up. But if they all did tier 10, and we max out this entire matrix, you're talking about $198 million. But that's not going to happen for a group of people who just want to buy their tiers, let Endotech do what Endotech's going to do, and make your money. It's not going to happen that way. It will happen with the combination of some of those folks, plus some people want to build so you can get spillover and you can build on your own. So I hope everyone understands the matrix, because this, unfortunately, is the most confusing part of our Daisy referral plan. But I believe I took the time and went over it, and this video will stay plastered on our page. So even if you introduce someone to Daisy and they're interested, you make sure they watch this video before they do anything so they can get a full understanding of what's potentially in store for them. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about the qualifications and the 10% matrix check match. This is huge. You have to qualify. And these are people who you directly sponsor. So we can go back. Let's say you directly sponsored me. And we're going to round this number up. Let's say my check is $10 million. We'll round this 999. So I went out and I made $10 million in the matrix. You qualify for it. You'll make $1 million off of my $10 million. You'll make 10%. Guys got that? You make 10% cash, and it's paid to you instantly. You'll get 10% of whatever my check is. If my check is $100, you're going to make $10. My check is $1,000, you're going to make $100. All you have to do, bring me on board, let me do my thing, which I do my thing, and you'll pick up your percentages. Now you have to qualify for this. Let me read. Qualification. Your matrix bonus qualification level determines how many levels of the matrix bonus that you personally match. Now, you can only match matrix checks from contribution tiers not higher than yours. Got that? So if it's higher than yours, you can't match it. So let's go. Let's read over. Let's go into the matrix here. Now, I'll read the example. Well, I'll go through the work here, then I'll read the example. So remember, this is you here. Level 1 and level 2, you don't have to qualify for. Generations 1 and 2. But you do need to qualify to get paid on generations 3 through 10. How do you qualify for that? You go out, you find 3 referrals. They collectively do 100,000 and tier purchases. You qualify to get paid on 27 people. And if you brought those 27 people on board, you're going to get a matrix check match off of all 27 of them. But if you don't bring on your 3, and those 3 don't do 1,000, you can have a personal recruit who falls into your 3rd matrix. You're not going to get a check match on them because you didn't qualify to get a check match on them. Got it? Even though they're your personal referral. If you don't qualify for the level. So if I fall, let's say you brought me on board and I fell into your level 6 on the matrix, but you're only qualified to get paid on level 80 or on level 4. So I'm in your level 6. So I made $1,000. Even though you brought me on board, you're not going to get a matrix check match on me because I'm on your level 6. You'll get a matrix check match on your level 3 from anybody who falls that you personally bring on board. Even though you personally brought me on board, you didn't qualify for level 6 and I fell into your level 6 because the matrix, I'll fall somewhere in your matrix. I'll fall into your level 6. You're not going to get paid on me because you didn't qualify to get paid on level 6. What do you need to do to get qualified to get paid on level 6? Refer 12 people, and those 12 people collectively do 8,000 in tier purchases. That's easy. You'll do that in your sleep. So the magic number here, guys, is always going to be find 24 people, 24 who are interested in making money on their money. They don't have to be top recruiters. You find 24 people and you show them that in November 2020, if they would have been part of DAISY because of Endotech, they would have made 361% on their money. In December 2020, if they would have been involved in DAISY because of Endotech, they would have made 500% on their money. You don't know what they're going to make in January, but again, I take my odds. Got it? So you want to make sure you go out and find your 24. And if all they want to do is just get involved to make money on their money, that's fine. But they still fall into your matrix and they help you qualify. Got it? Now, as we move along, there's a grace period. There's a 48-hour grace period that is tied into everyone when you enroll into DAISY. Okay, for your first 48 hours, there's no qualifications. You don't have to qualify. So anyone you bring on board, there's no recruiting or referral qualifications. However, you still have to purchase a tier. Even though there's no recruiting requirements or referral requirements to get paid on those different levels, if you, let's say for an example, even though there's no requirements, but you purchase level tier 3 and I'm on tier 8, you're not going to get paid on me because you only purchased tier 3. You're not going to get paid on tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, or tier 8 because you didn't purchase a high enough tier. Even though you don't have to refer anybody, you still have to meet your purchase requirements. Very, very, very important. That's crucial. And this applies to everyone when they join DAISY. They have 48 hours where they don't have to recruit anybody or refer anybody. But if they have a low pack and it's a whole bunch of people in their matrix, not going to get paid on them because they're only going to get paid on the pack that they purchased to. Hope you guys get that. You can have 10,000 people in your matrix, but you only purchased to level 3, tier 3, you're only going to get paid on tier 3 people. You're not going to get paid on anybody else, even though there are no recruiting requirements for the first 48 hours. And that's tied into the contract. That doesn't change. As we move along, let's talk about pay setters. Pay setters is brilliant. I love this. So within your first 30 days, and many of you were within your first 30 days because in the back office says we're on our 27th day. Within your first 30 days, if whatever requirements you meet, you'll get bumped down to the next level. The only thing this doesn't apply to is level 10. So let's say you go out and you purchase the generation 4. You go out and you recruit 6 folks or refer 6 folks. Between those 6, they do $2,000 in contributions. Technically, you're supposed to get paid on 81 folks that fall into your matrix or that you build down into your matrix. Remember, these folks will find themselves here from spillover and because you're creating your own spillover because you're referring people who are referring people who are referring people. So these 81 people, they fall here. Because you have a 30-day grace period, you're not going to get paid on 81. You get paid on 243 because you get bumped down to the next level. It unlocks the next level for you, which is amazing. So I come in, I purchase tier 6, and I go out and I refer 12 folks. And those 12 folks do collectively $8,000 in contributions. That means if I have 729 people fall into my matrix, I'm supposed to get paid on 729. Nope, because it's within my first 30 days, it's going to bump me down to tier 7, and I'll potentially get paid on 2,187. So whatever you hit within your first 30 days is going to bump you down to the next level, which is wonderful. It's a bonus that's tied into the smart contract. In addition to that, we have what's called Paysetter Gold. This is why I stated earlier, get your 24. And I'm going to beat a dead, they say beat a dead horse. Why would someone want to beat a dead horse? I don't know. But get your 24. Why do you want to go get your 24 people? So you can be Paysetter Gold within your first 30 days. If you're Paysetter Gold within your first 30 days, how do we qualify for Paysetter Gold? Real simple. We go out and we find 24 people who collectively do 128,000 in contributions or tier purchases. You're now Paysetter Gold. Now, you know what's cool about Paysetter Gold? You don't even have to purchase tier 10. You can purchase tier 1 and still accomplish this. Let's say you're broke and all you could purchase is $100. That's it, 100 tier. You're broke, all you can do is 100. But these 24 people you bring on board, they hit these numbers, you're going to be a pay setter. Now, will you unlock the matrix? No. Okay. Will you get paid on these folks? No. But you will qualify for a pay setter. Got it? Now, if you purchase 10 tiers, yeah, you'll open up this other money and you'll also qualify as a pay setter. But I want to make this very clear. You do not have to come in at tier 10 to be a pay setter at all. You'll just miss out on some tiers that you didn't open because you only came in at tier 1. I think I've explained this enough for you to understand this thus far. Now, what's great about being a pay setter? All the contributions that come into the D.AI.SY Crowd Fund, you get 1.8%. And I'm going to tell you right now, the pay setter bonuses are incredible. We had over 70 plus people, maybe 80 plus people who qualified for pay setters, and all of them made over 50 grand. Every last one of them made over 50 grand in their first 24 to 48 hours. Some of them made over 200 grand. This is documented. I'm not saying this to entice you. This is factual. Okay? So you go out and you become a pay setter. You want to do it within your first 30 days. And this starts paying out as soon as you hit pay setter. We had people who hit pay setter their first 24 hours. So this extra bonus money, this 1.8% bonus money, start paying out to them instantly. And every time, and they got an extra 5% in equity share for Endotech. Now, what's also cool about that, they didn't get paid this yet. But when people start to take their money out from the money that they made for Endotech trading for them, they're going to pick up 1.25% of all the trading profits that are in the pool. So remember, let's say I got involved because I did not want to use the referral plan at all. All I wanted to do was make money on my money. So let's say, and it was December, I got involved. I made 500% of my money. Just to see if this thing works, I'm going to take some of my money out. When I take my money out of the trading side, because you qualified as a pay setter, you get paid 1.25% of the whole global pool of trading profits. That's incredible. That's incredible. Let me back up. Of not just mine, of all the trading profits, okay, that's made by Endotech. Not just mine. I don't want you to be single-minded. Of all the trading profits that's made by Endotech for the entire D.AI.SY project, you get a piece of that, 1.25. Because you went out and found 24 people, even though you were broke and you only had $100 and all you could do was one tier. But you went out and found 24 people who did 128,000 collectively in tier purchases within the first 30 days. Now, here's an example. And this is a better breakdown. You have pay setter gold bonus. You have 30 days to do that, guys. 30 days. This is a leadership bonus. This is for people who want to build. This is people who want to create their own spillover. This is for people who want to build. This first pay setter bonus in 30 days is not for everybody. Some of you don't have the resources, or you don't believe you have the resources. Some of you don't have the contacts, or you don't believe you have the contacts. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I know 30 people who wouldn't mind making an extra, 500% on their money if Endotech's able to do what they did in December to do it again in January. I'll find 24 people who want to do that. But some of you may not want to do that. You may think it's too stressful. May think it's too much work. So this first pay setter bonus might not apply to you because you got 30 days to get it done. And if you miss it, you miss it. It's one time. However, there's a leadership bonus that doesn't have a time limit. What is the leadership bonus? You eventually become a pay setter. Okay, eventually, you go out and find 3 other people who become pay setters. 3. That these 3 people within their first month. So let's say you didn't do it, but you brought on 3 people within their first month. This person became a pay setter. This person became a pay setter. This person became a pay setter. You didn't, but these 3 did. Now you qualify for the leadership bonuses. So I know you missed out on it over here because you didn't do it in 30 days. Well, you found 3 machines that did it within their 30 days, whenever they did it. Now you get that 1.8% back. Not retro, but you start getting paid from that point on. And you get the 1.25% of all the global trading profits, plus 5% in equity share of Indotech. But someone like me, I did both. So right now, and I don't mind saying it, I'm not an owner. There's no owners of the company. I purchase tiers just like you. And I refer people to purchase tiers just like you. And what did I do? I went out there and did Pacesetter Gold, and I did the Pacesetter Leadership Bonus. And it's ridiculous. I'm making 3.6% on every darn penny that comes out of this pool. It's ridiculous. You're getting paid like every 30 seconds. You don't have to take my word for it. You could go to the blockchain. If you know anyone's wallet number, it's on the blockchain. It's wide open. You could go to tronscan.io. You could get anybody's wallet address. You could go under transactions. Well, you paste their wallet address in there. You can go under transactions. You can scroll down and you can hit this internal transaction or something, and it shows every time they were paid a commission. It's wide open for the world to see. I had one of my friends come and like, dude, you made this much money. I'm like, how the heck did you know? He said, you sent me your wallet address so I can enroll. And I don't care, it's public information. It's on the blockchain. You can't hide it. And so you want to become a pay setter and definitely get the leadership bonus as we move along. And this is just an example. And this happened. This is not, imagine if this happened. This happened for a lot of people. 3.6% every contribution worldwide. And it says potentially here. So I'm going off what happened over the past couple of days when we launched. But now I'll speak to you if you're brand new. Potentially this can happen for you, but it did happen to us. Okay? And then 2.5% once people start taking their money out. This is huge. As we move along. Let's talk about another residual component on the back end. Every person that you personally bring on board, every person that you personally refer, whether they want to build a big matrix or whether they just want to make their whatever percentage Indotech is going to make for them. So you have a conversation with one of your friends because their kids and your kids, they play soccer together. And you tell them about the money you made on your trading. And they want to join. When they make their money on their trading as well, whatever the percentage is, when they take their money out to pay their bills, to pay off debt, to see if it worked, to buy a new car, whatever, you're going to make 3.5% of their profits. That's sick. That's incredible. So not only do we get paid on the front end, we also get paid on the back end. Now, in order for that to happen, you have to bring at least one person on board. If you don't bring in anybody, you're not going to get that 3.5% at all under no circumstances. You have to at least bring in one. Now, that person brings in another person on their level 1, which is your level 2. You're going to now pick up 1% on whatever that person, takes out of profit. And you didn't have to qualify for level 1 or 2. Now, level 3 to 10, those same matrix qualifications kick in. You got to refer 3 who do 1,000, or if it's 7, or if you're level 7, you got to refer 15 who does 18,000. I'm going off memory. You guys get the point because I went over these matrix rules. So in order to get paid unilevel trading bonuses from level 3 through 10, you have to follow the matrix qualifications. Now, this is what's brilliant here. I love this. So again, if you're that person, you're not a builder. You don't want to build spillover. You don't care about spillover. You don't care about getting spillover or building your own spillover. All you want, you're taking your chances at the fact that Indotech in November 2020 helped people make, all their clients made 361% on their money. And in December, they made over 500%. This is documented. So your people came on board. They don't want to build anything. They don't care about these matrix qualifications. That's music to your ears. Why? Because they got to refer one person. So if they refer one, they don't have to, but if they refer a person and someone else refers, and they refer, and they refer, and this goes all the way down to 10 levels, but they don't qualify for these levels, all these 1% roll up to you. You get paid 1% on all of their people. As wide as you want to go, for those who understand network marketing lingo, or down to 10 levels. You get paid on all of their people because they don't want to qualify for the matrix bonus. They just want to make whatever percentage that Endotech's going to pay them on their money. All of that rolls up to you. So it would behoove you to talk to as many people as humanly possible. You'll make more money. As we move along, there are 3 categories of members. Currently, okay, we have the DAISY Fund. Tier 1 through 7, 50% goes into the DAISY Fund. That's traded for you. And you get your percentage on your initial investment or your initial tier purchase, not investment, tier purchase. Tier 8 through 10, 70% goes into the DAISY Fund. That's traded for you, but you'll get your percentage off your initial tier purchases. VIP customers, that's coming soon. Is not applicable yet, but it will be soon. 100% of what you contribute, because there are people who say, look, man, this $100,000 thing looks sweet, but can I contribute more? There are people who came to us and said, look, can we contribute more? $100,000 sounds good, but I have $500,000. And if Endotech can do what they're doing, I'll give you $500,000. We had so many people say this to us. So we had to put a VIP program in place. When that kicks in, you can contribute whatever you want to contribute. And 100% of your money goes into trading. And your percentage is ridiculous. You'll still get your same percentages or whatever Endotech is trading at that time. So now, VIP customers, it begins after entry level 10 purchase. So you can't come in from the gate and say, you know what, I want to do 200,000. I want to be a VIP customer. Nope, can't do that. You got to purchase all the tiers up to there. Then you can purchase. 100% of your funds goes into trading. A minimum of 20,000 USD, minimum. Funds stay in your personal wallet, which is very important. 5% setup fee. You get 80% of your profits, and 10% goes into a referral reward plan. And then we also get generational leadership bonuses, guys, on that income also, which is a big deal. Okay, those same 1%, 10 levels down, okay, on everyone. And I'm not sure if we have to qualify for matrix on this one because it doesn't say it here. So maybe you don't have to qualify for matrix. You don't have to matrix qualify for VIP because it doesn't say it here. Okay, so that's something we need to clarify on, but that'll happen when it happens. Lastly, how to join DAISY. Download an approved Tron wallet app. Okay, we recommend Tron Link. If you just jumped on this video, Tron Link. If you're in the Apple Store, download Tron Link. If you're Android, download Tron Link Pro. Prepare get your Tron ready, a minimum of $100. Get someone referral link. Join level 1, entry 1, and then upgrade from there. All right, guys, and that's Tron Link. Welcome to DAISY. Let's continue to make history together because we've already broken every record in referrals in the referral space. We've broken every record in the United States history. And no, back up, not the United States history, because we don't do business in the United States. Let me make that very, very clear. In the world's history. I'm from the United States. That's why I say that. Okay. So we don't do business in the United States. We cannot DAISY if you're in the United States, Korea, or Iran, your IP addresses are blocked. Can't do business with DAISY. Want to make that clear. And it says that on the bottom of each slide. So with that said, I'm going to unshare my screen. I hope some of you took the time to this video right here, unless something changed with the comp plan. I took my time. I was direct. I'm tired, but I took my time, went over everything. So there's no misconceptions. So there's no misunderstandings. I was very, very clear, as I've been in the past. But I had to, I tried to keep everything within an hour. I don't know. I probably went over an hour here and if I did, I did. It's to our benefit. Yours, so you can understand what you're doing. Mine, so people don't call me saying, hey, I thought you said. No. It's not what you thought I said, it's what I said, and is what you read on those slides. So we could be 100% clear. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. I don't give adults advice. I try not to do that because when you give people unsolicited advice, they don't listen. But I'll just tell you what I do. I invest in multiple things around the world, internationally. What I don't do, I never invest in anything that I cannot afford to lose. That's number one. Number two, in all the opportunities that I invest in internationally and here in the States, I invest in Amazon stores. I invest in mortgage notes. I invest in multiple things. When I make my money, I take a third of my money that I make, my profits, and I erase debt. I take the other third and I break that money up for my various investment opportunities. I take another third, I put away for taxes and fun. Now, what's cool about that, once all my debt's gone, I got this extra third over here. And with that third, I start to think about generational wealth, future wealth. Got it? So I'm glad to spend some time with you. I have to return like many calls. I've gotten many calls while I've been on this video, but this is here. It will be saved. It will be in the video library. I highly recommend you have anyone who's interested. Even if they've seen another presentation, they say, I'm in, have them watch this first so they can make a sound decision for them and their family. Hey, God bless you guys. Love you a whole bunch. Talk to you soon. Peace.